It was a shocking moment in Canadian history. 25 years ago today, a gunman went on a shooting rampage at Montreal's École Polytechnique. The shooter stormed into the school, ordered the men to leave the building, and then opened fire on the women. By the end of his rampage, 14 women were killed. Eventually, the shooter turned the gun on himself. Suzanne Laplante Edward lost her daughter, Anne-Marie, that day. And Suzanne joins us now from Florida. How are you feeling today, Suzanne, on such a painful day?
Yes, of course, it's very difficult, very emotional, 25 years. I mean, she would be 46 years old now with probably 4 kids that she wanted. She would be an engineer doing, a career. It's very hard. It's very hard.
Now, you along with a lot of other people, have made it your mission to fight for stricter gun control laws in Canada, and you've called it a monument to our daughters. 25 years later, Suzanne, where are we on that?
Well, Harper has destroyed most of it. All the gun registry is gone, gone, gone. It's just never to be there again. We're holding on about the Quebec registration. It's now in the Supreme Court. We're certainly hoping that that will come through. We're keeping our fingers crossed that that will happen. And, now Mr. Couillard, our Prime Minister in Quebec, has fully agreed that it's going to come in full speed.
Well, besides legislation and the laws, what more can we do in this country to protect women from violence?
Well, this is a good point, the guns, because in a household when a guy has got a temper and is domineering, and if he has an alcohol problem at the same time, and it's guns in a house, that whole family, that entire family is sitting on a time bomb. So we're hoping that the gun control will come through, will somehow survive.
And as a society, in our culture, has there been progress in the last 25 years in how we at least address violence against women?
Yes. Well, this is a sort of a two-edged sword, okay? The progress. There has been tremendous progress. The daddies, for example, the papa, taking care of their children. My dad, I'm 75 now, 75 years old. When this happened, I was 50. Well, my dad, of course, in that generation, he wouldn't be caught dead pushing a baby carriage. It just didn't happen. And he would eat his meal, and his dirty plate would stay there on the table, and like he wouldn't even put it in the sink to be washed. Now this is very, very much changed. There's been tremendous progress. Men are helping around the house. They are helping women achieve a career. They are helping with the children, and this is wonderful in that way. The counterpart of that is that with all the violence, the violence on television and in the movies, and has had a very negative influence on men, boys, and now we are seeing a tremendous amount of rapes on campus, and that is terrible. And that I went through McGill. I was never approached, ever. There was never a sense of being scared to be raped, and now so that's the negative part. So on the one side, yes, it's a lot better, and on the other side, it's a lot worse.
Yeah, and it's just so interesting. There's so many different things we could talk about when we talk about violence against women. And Suzanne, we do really appreciate your time today on this painful anniversary. I want to ask you before we end this. When you think about Anne-Marie, when we all think about her today, how would you like your daughter to be remembered?
Well, just last year, John Abbott College, which was the junior college that you went to just before entering Polytechnique, They have built a science building, $6 million, six-floor science building, and they have named it the Anne-Marie Edwards Science Building. And we're very, very proud of that. And she's remembered as life-loving. I sent you some pictures. Did you see the pictures?
Yes, we're showing those pictures right now as you speak, Suzanne.
Well, she was very much fun-loving, and she was also a serious girl. And she did volunteering, with mentally handicapped children and so on. So, she was quite a girl, quite a woman. And what the 14 of them, they were all very special girls. And what a loss for Canada. What a loss.